ki khubor ka Batisi TV lawan rashapi da ka Orange Nissan Lumso po near Fire Brigade Shillong.
Admissions are open at BDW International School. Enroll now.
Ka school ba North Eastern Hills University Shillong harengkat ka jingi trailang bat ka Melbourne University Nagari Australia kala shim ye ka senjam ban Pynneh Pynsah bat ban lum ban lang ye ki kot kisla ki dulir ki Jingthoh ki bayadai bat ka culture bat ki jingjia ki ba menshwa ki bala sedang ban jar ngai suki pasuki ya gani ka project ban lum thop kat kum ki kor ki bor hagani ka juk ka ba menta la bay pisa da ka British Library London na Arcadia Fund. Kat kum ka Jingthoh jong Professor Desmond L. Karmau plang ki jinglum jingtip bat ki jingbo jingken mau kin long ye ki kot bala penmi ha ki no ki jat kten kin thobru ye ki dur ki shithi ki kot khubor ki kot linkdop ki kot bo jingken mau ki kot shimen ki kot ki bamda khampan don kamsho ki khana pateng ka long ying bat ki no ki sakhi ne ki kot bo sa ken mau ki bayadai bat kane ka Jingthoh.
I used to work with these cassettes. I used to work with a machine that was very heavy, that was very cumbersome for me to take to very remote places. But I had done a great deal of work on this machine and with these tapes, collecting stories and songs and so on. And one of the most, to my mind, the most significant collections I made was a huge body of pawar, which was sung by a person, by an individual who was then completely unknown. It was quite by accident also that I met him because he was working in a very remote part of the southern Khasi Hills where he was engaged in charcoal burning. But while doing this activity, he was also singing these pawar. The name of this gentleman is Hanbo, I think. I have this tape of the recordings I made of this gentleman, and after that we lost touch. I lost contact. I moved on, and he also shifted to other places. And it was only after a period of 10 years that I came to know that he is no more. That he was murdered in a dispute that he had with some people. Now, this body of material of his performance I had with me in this tape, and there was no way that I could play this tape anymore because my machine had stopped working. So, working with Andy, Andy, when he went back to Melbourne, he took this piece of recording, this tape with him, and he tried to rescue, to salvage the material that was there, and he did not succeed at first. And I was told that they had to send the tape to Sydney. They had to fly it across to Sydney, where there was a studio that was able to recover the material that was embedded in this tape. And now we have a complete text of the tape, and this material has also been put on the internet, and so it is there for anyone who would like to gain access to this material. Now, this is just one small example of what this project entails. As a pilot project, we had identified one book, which is a rarity. This book, is completely out of print, and even the university that published it in 1954, that is Guwahati University, does not have a copy anymore. We have been able, because this book was falling apart, it was falling to pieces, we have been able to completely do a digital work on this book, and now we have preserved it. The purpose of this launch is to be able to disseminate information as much as possible in the Khasi and Jingthoh Hills, because primarily we are looking at material coming from these places. And therefore, we have prepared dissemination material, leaflets, flyers, and so on. We have also invited members of the press so that the media will be able to carry the message that we have. We would like to, we would like to work with families. We would like to work with institutions. We would like to work with individuals and groups.
I also acknowledge my project collaborator, Professor Desmond Kanoflung. As you well know, a leading scholar, leading folklorist, and it's my absolute pleasure and privilege to be working with Bob Desmond on this project. And I thank also librarian Dr. Suma for his very kind introductory remarks. The library is a critical part of the team, and it was wonderful to hear Dr. Suman talking about the library as really the beating intellectual heart of the university, and whether that's in person or increasingly virtually or in a hybrid form, it's certainly something that we all recognise as scholars as being one of the fundamentally important places on the university campus, and it's wonderful to have the library as part of the team.
The role of library not only to conserve, preserve the book in different forms, but also to disseminate the knowledge among the academicians, among the students of different subjects. This project, British Library Endangered Archive Program, a project promoted by the British Library and supported by the Arcadia Fund. The project aimed at supporting efforts made by the individuals and institutions to preserve, conserve and safeguard endangered and threatened examples of heritage. This point of view, northeast of this country really have so many type of knowledge. We have more than 200 type of tribals, their languages, their cultural activities. Not only the cultural activities, also the different type of languages. And all of you know, a new education policy there is an importance of 3 type of languages in the country. First, national languages. Second, the regional languages. And third, the international languages. And generally, in the academic areas, we are only using here the international languages. Why we are using these languages? Because we don't have such type of technical books, cultural books in regional languages and national languages. So this is a duty of any academic institution, universities and libraries. First, to preserve the prior knowledge, what already they have. preserve the knowledge, also generate the knowledge, create the ideas in regional languages. Then any student who joined this university may learn national languages, regional languages, as well as international languages. A new education policy giving us a chance to work on regional languages. Earlier, I was in a NEP 2020 program in Guwahati. Same question raised by the Chief Minister of Assam. There is a huge problem how to generate the 180 type of languages of the Northeast. I just spoken there. Yeah, this is a challenge. But if we are not going to take this challenge, academicians are not going to take this challenge, so who will take this challenge? Step by step, we will do. We will collect the information. We will develop the technologies. And with the application of the technologies, we can do that, or we will do something for the coming generation. Just like translation of the knowledge from one language to other language. We know we have the softwares, but there is a need to take a challenge for the regional languages. And really, no doubt, this education policy as well as this project, endangered knowledge. First time I listened this word, I already listened the word endangered plants, endangered animals or species. For first time listen this word endangered books also. It means you are just going to present the endangered knowledge of the Northeast. After the preservation of the knowledge, convergent translation of the knowledge in different languages, either from Khasi or Garo or any other, in the national languages, then in the international languages. And some knowledge which is already available in the international languages or in national languages, translate into the regional languages. Then, in this form, we can provide something, knowledge of Khasis, Garos to coming generations. And I hope this project will play an important role, especially for the preserving of the endangered knowledge of more than 200 tribes living in the Northeast.
Kani ka project kaba ni ay kerteng blip kani ka yang na British Library Endangered Archives Program. Mo ta kani ka day ka program kaba ka administer lene ka penyaj ka British Library hadian bakayo ya funding na ka Arcadia Fund. Ka Arcadia Fund kadai ka wika humanitarian organization ka belong international ka bahaya ha. But namar kawai nagi Jingthoh jong kadai ka Arcadia Fund kalong pan preserve ban Pynneh Pynsah yaki nuksan jong ki cultural heritage keleng ka perthai te yakani ka British Library kala shimkhia pan administer yakani ka fund nakabanta gitu ki institutions namta gitu ki agency namta gitu ki seng tu let's say ki bala pan apply naka British Library namta kani ka funding kumaswa nuksa khandial ka British Library kawai ni ki kam ki bakongsan hapo kani ka project bakale kalong ban preserve yiki ki papyri script mo ki script ki Jingthoh ki bala preserve haki papyrus mo haki tu ki kinja plang ki bang sheyo harup jong ka river Nile jong ka wa Nile ne kani tang shibenta jong ka jingle jong ka jingtrei jong ka jingpersyang jong ka British Library ban support yiki jingpersyang jong ki priu jong ki institutions kamtam ki bakwa ban preserve yiki cultural heritage mo cultural heritage ki balalong endangered ki balalong threatened kata kemun ki bodon ha jingma ki ba lesi ki belajan jano ki belajan pois ka menor te ni nakaliam jong ka university house nam arajar spa khat khandai hadin ba ngawan pai na University of Melbourne hakaba ngalalech the kumu way visiting professor for University of Melbourne but hangto mayekundo yu Dr. Nick Taberger the way niki start linguist the way niki start pule Shampang haki languages kamtam lele ki languages chuki jaipuri ki baim haka Pacific region te mau don punya yakni ke institution ke ba ki khot kertain ka paradisek but yakni la fund ka University of Melbourne University of Sydney but ka Australian National University te haka ji yakran jonga ba but hadir bangalapun syai pangidon bun ki nuksa kun kini ki heritage ki balarong threaten kum khamtam lele haka oral tradition khamtam lele haka heritage ka bangisa tang haka ktin kthile mo kum lesi kum Jingthoh khana kum ki jigrai kum ki phawar kum ki rukom ki jingle niam but ki performances ki ba ponjai te ngin lai crunch pangkani te mo ai hata ka advice ai hata ka jumur boleh fi apply naga British Library nomor kidon nomor British Library kadon kum hata ka project ka bolong design thik ta nam ta ki dig jithu pp don terangkat paru Professor Andrew May bodai professor hapo ka Department of History hapo University of Melbourne ngapat Professor May gilaya pa ko ke joint application shall British Library how benai January ars pak kendai but hadin san benai ngisiyo kata ke jubah ngisiyo ke response naga British Library pa ya kini ke application jungi kila approve but nam tak funding but ngila ban sedang mat bukrek no ban le ya kini ke kam te kini ke jingkaku bakrau ke jingsha naga nata lesi naga bata kini ke Kerijungi nomor primarily ngi Jingthoh suatang khasi ba Jingthoh Hills primarily ke te kani ke pilot project ke ba ke Jingthoh ko begin try ko ba ndru punai shisnam tambolong naga jingja jongka pandemic naga jingja jongka COVID-19 imshimla ban pentrulun yi kam kum ngi thmu te mata lese jaj ba situation kala kham ba kala kham improve lese ngila ban kham try agar kau long systematic. Islang ya kena pilot sample dakapa digitize ya kawai kot kapa kerteng folk literature of Assam. Folk literature of Assam kadai kot kapa ngalap assembil. Jo kawai kaya. But kadai kot kala pra kala janlong lengkot lengkai kisla kila hab la kejong. and yakani ka kot la penmi house nam khat khanai spa san rusau te hadir ngi contact yaka Guwahati University wat makiro kila longa ba kimdon print show kimdon copy show kum yakani ka kot te kane ka wei ni nuksa chongka endangered heritage mo te sakoi ka kot khasi and Jantia tales and beliefs ka kot ka ba itho ibobu I am Simon kam kwa war play kum kane ka kot mdon show ki copy what hapo Guwahati University no te kini ditang ki examples ki ba mulumala ki bangala nai tenre ngitep ba haka personal collection jo ki families jo ki longye longsam kidon ki longye longsam kidon ki brio jo ki bodon kini ki nuksa jo ki dulir la se ki bang ila nong ba let's say kaba tang kini ki yekisam ki don access ki kini ke Andre kini kilong culturally and historically kilong so significant ban you don't come and share yakani knowledge long yakani information mar ba hakani pertain ta information is supreme community information is supreme but kidon ru kiba nganai sakoi nuksa shapo boy jete ngalap yakoi kot ka chu tho hi do we uru tu men wa bomdon cho bangi hangni pertai but udai umre bomdanang bantho bantar shim ya ke jingera bantho ya ke ni ka kot na ki ksiu kani ka kot kade shaphang karkom sumar breu daga boponon kam kum ki ong sepoi daga boponon kam ya ki purtuj no kata karkom duai karkom phira chuki te ka jing snow junga kolong ba kani jing persyang jung ni ritumen dei momnang bantho bantar hatu por dei ula shim kya ula shim stom ula punistom ilere ban tho ya kita gi purtu ban kani la se dei jing kwa jungu ba on ban link ban panwara ya kata ka connection ban wara ya kata ka jing dei ban wara ya kata ka kecingnya day hapdeng ka oral tradition kata tradition ke bangi don daga kentian bat kata tradition bangi don daga Jingthoh kalau itai de iwi nonguna ibarit ki bangala banai rengang atip ba ki bon ba ki examples ki nuksa ki nonguna ba ngi don kleng hakani geri khasi jantia jungi ban hakani ka ban ngashimru yakani ka kabu ban kerpan yaki longyeng longsem yaki individuals yaki rewshimet yaki institutions yaki let's say ki seng ki boper ban lada pidon kono bo ko aban share bangi lada pidon kino ki nuksa jong kita ki cultural heritage ki balalong endangered lalong threatened ki bodon hagajing ma let's say hagajing sok pring kumonong markani kot ka mga ainuk sa spom hoy kala sok ru pring te let's say kidon kum kini kinuksa ki bodon shiki jaka ki baslap ki ba ujuru slap te ka ban preserve yikiru ka kamstom let's say kidon ki blabam krun te kum kita bro lengba kani ka project jungi ngila ban preserve yiki umdai bangi ngin shim napi ndrei ni preserve yiki daga ba digitize yakini ki but ka copyright ke de jumpi ka shulong tang ba ngin preserve yiki hakurkom ko day hakurkom ko long systematic but ka longru ka ak ka ba sko sarong ba yagatu ka kam ka bangi ngila identify bangin digitize ba bangin preserve she copy kan don ha British Library she copy kan don ha University of Melbourne but she copy kan don ha po library ne po new